What's coming up on the 7th of April? Well, in just about 2 days from now will be the 76th anniversary of the World Health Organization, the WHO. The focus will be on health and the right to health. But the question often in our minds is, what is good health? The topic is so vast that it's difficult to put a finger in it, and no one really has a one-stop solution on what is the mantra. So on TBC this morning, let's try and simplify this very broad spectrum of health for you. Now, we understand by now that health is not just physical, it's not just what's showing on your weighing scale. It's your mind, it's your body, it's your soul. We also know that we are what we eat, we are what we think, we are who we hang out with. So, we'll break down this entire health segment for you in some basics on what constitutes to a healthy life with a three-way approach. First, we will talk about what to eat. Food, perhaps the most important, yes, the most, less given or taken for granted aspect of our life. So talking about food first, let's bring in Kavita Devgan. Kavita is a qualified nutritionist. She's also the author of several books on food. So Kavita, hello and welcome. Welcome to TBC. Very nice to have you here. As we start our day, and breakfast is such an important meal, we know. Yeah. But what we eat, when we eat, and how much we eat. We know these three aspects, but perhaps there is no one mantra for everybody. But can you share with us, say, a good sort of eating go-to mantra that you advise?
Thank you, Sonal. Very, very happy to be here today. And good morning, everybody. Oh, yes, you're right. Scale is just one of the parameters. I'm sure you believe in that, which is why you brought it up right up front. Mantras can
Absolutely.
be many, Sonal. You're right. And it's huge. I mean, this topic is vast. But let me just crunch it in 5 basic mantras that I believe will work for everybody who's probably listening today. The first mantra would be eat fresh. I tell everybody, try and eat as fresh as possible. Fresh is just like an indicator of what you must try and pick up to eat. I know people who go to farmers market to try to grow their own food. I mean, that's ideal, but of course that's not always possible. So try and eat food which is as fresh as possible. Source it right. It's really important. Seasonal eating also comes into this same format. The second mantra, which I think today is the most important one that everyone needs to follow. If you want to pick just one, please pick this one. Eat clean. Very important to keep the baddies out of our food. Look at the ingredient list. Keep the processed food intake as low, minimal as possible. If you're eating 2 a day right now, bring it down to 1 a day, and then eventually, ideally, I would say, eat just 1 processed or 1 or 2 processed foods a week. Trust me, this is the most important mantra to start following today. It will solve a lot of your problems. The third one, very important. Please eat happy. Really important to eat food that makes you happy, and that, trust me, it's not just to make your palate happy or your mind happy. Science has shown us, nutrition research has shown us that only when you eat food that's good for you, that makes you feel good, will the gut actually get into action and you'll absorb the nutrients there. So if you try and push down completely insipid food, that cabbage, boiled cabbage down your throat, you're not doing yourself any good. Make that cabbage probably in a better way, healthier, tastier way. Then it will probably work for you. Very important to eat happy. I follow that very, very strongly. I'd advise you to do that as well. The fourth mantra, again very important. Eat balanced. Now, what do I mean by balanced? I don't mean start counting your calories or start really getting focused on just the macros, how much protein. I mean, I see the obsession around so much. Just try and follow the basic principles that were followed from yesteryears. Eat balanced, portion control, rotation, fruit rotation, grain rotation, everything. Just keep rotating them and you'll do just fine. Focus on nutrition, not the scale like you mentioned. And the last one, the fifth one, which I just have to bring up today because I feel it's really important. Eat home cooked food. Please, can we go back to eating food that is cooked in our own kitchens? You don't have to cook elaborate meals, but try and start eating food that you can be really sure of, where you're sure of the ingredients, where you can control the portions, stuff that works for you, for your body. And that can only happen if you customize it. So try and start cooking more at home. I mean, I tell everybody, if you're eating like maybe there are people I know who are not even eating a single home cooked meal today at home. There are surveys which tell us that. So bring back home cooked food. Try and do at least do, I would say, 70-30.
Yeah. So you're saying this one is gonna hit a chord with a lot of people who sometimes, even out of necessity, don't have an option and just order something in, etc. So I'm totally with you on eat happy, by the way. I think that's a good one to take away. But very quickly then, help us understand. So these are 5 mantras to go by.
Yeah.
Tell me, if a routine were to be followed, and I understand every individual, every body is different, every age has a different requirement as well on how to eat. But broadly, if you could quickly put for us how a daily routine of food should really look like?
Yeah. It's again no rocket science. I tell everybody you need to automate your, the way you automate your work, right? This is going to come after this, you plan. You need to plan your day and you need to make sure that there are certain basic habits that everybody follows. I'll give you a quick routine. Let's begin with the time we get up in the morning. Simple rule to follow is begin your day not with coffee, not with chai, begin with good fat. Simple rule to follow. Good fat could be something very simple, like the yesteryear's thing of starting the day with nuts. If almonds work for you, great, but otherwise any nut in the morning, would be a wonderful thing to just add. Make sure that you start with good fat. Ghee is a wonderful idea. What Ayurveda says is perfectly right. Then after that comes breakfast and hydration. I mean, how can I forget that? So begin your day with good fat and hydration. Breakfast, do not skip. First, I just have to mention that because I know so many breakfast skippers. Do not skip. Your body needs energy. Give it the good start. But don't stop there. Eat the right breakfast. The breakfast should have everything. Eat breakfast like a king. I mean, I truly believe in that. I'm not just saying that. Eat good food there. It'll set the tone of the day for you. Then after the mid meals, I personally tell everybody, get in your fruit there. 11 o'clock and 5 o'clock or 4 o'clock are perfect times to include your fruit servings because again, eating at least 2 fruits a day is a must for every single person because it's not just the macros, it's also the vitamins and minerals and antioxidants that we need to talk about. So include them at about 11 and 4.
You're essentially saying that a lot of this is going back to basics. It's not a very complicated thing that nobody has to look at a fat diet really.
Not at all.
So if you're eating your breakfast big, if you're starting out right, if you're eating your fiber and your fruits a day, if you're wrapping up dinner 3 hours before you go to sleep.
Absolutely.
And also then doing a bit of portion control, not having a hearty meal at the end of the day. That's pretty much it. You don't need more.
You
Just
don't
these
need
basic
more.
principles done regularly is really what's going to solve problems for us. So that's a good tip and also satisfying to know that कुछ ज़्यादा ज़रूरत नहीं है, इसी से काम चल सकता है.
इसी से ही चल जाता है.
That's all that can work.
Yes.
So thank you so much for joining us for all that कविता. But अब हमने खाने की बात करी कविता के साथ, थोड़ी एक्सरसाइज के बारे में भी बातें करते हैं. We know different forms of exercises today: walking, running, yoga, Pilates, cardio, HIIT. The options these days are plenty. But the key to exercise is perhaps not just doing anything for a few days, but doing it consistently. But what to do if you do not have the time? We all understand that we've got EMIs to pay, we've got rents to pay, and it is so hard to find time to exercise. So we thought we'll bring in Tarandeep Kaur, who's an aerial yoga lifestyle influencer, who will bring you some tips on how to do yoga even when you're in office. Take a look.
Hey guys, today we are going to practice chair yoga. Chair yoga is very simple and effective and can be practiced by one and all. Whether you are a corporate professional sitting on desk all day long or a senior citizen or anyone who is unable to practice on yoga mat, this is a simple and effective way to keep yourself going. So let's get started. Let's do some simple neck exercises, as a lot of people complain of cervical issues because our neck is exposed to a lot of gadgets, whether it's a mobile phone or a laptop. So let's do some simple exercises to get rid of these issues. So tilt your head towards the right side and stretch it for a count of 5. Keep breathing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now let's rotate our neck clockwise. When the neck comes up, inhale. When it comes down, exhale. Make sure you are stretching the entire neck. Let's do 3 rounds clockwise and 3 rounds anti-clockwise. Go really slow. Focus on the breathing. Inhale when you go up. Exhale when you come down. Relax. Now we are going to do some exercises for our wrists. So rotate the wrist clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Anti-clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open and close your fists. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stretch our hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn it around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change the hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Relax. Some exercises for our shoulders. So bring your shoulders up to your ear level. Rotate them completely. Inhale as you come up. Exhale as you go down. 3. Make sure that both the shoulder girdles are touching each other. 4 and 5. Let's do it anti-clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Relax. So now we are going to do some exercises for our legs. So lift your right leg. Lift it whichever is a comfortable position for you. Always listen to your body. So you don't have to lift it really high. Okay. So we are going to flex it and point it. Flex and point. We are going to do it 5 times. Flex and point. Do not forget to breathe. Flex and point. Flex and point. Now we are going to rotate the feet clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Anti-clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Slowly bring it close to the other feet. So lift your left leg. Flex and point. Flex and point. Flex and point. We do it for 5 times. Flex and point. Flex and point. You can feel the stretch in your calf muscles. Now let's rotate clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Anti-clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now slowly bring it close to the other feet. I hope you really enjoyed this simple and effective chair workout, and you're definitely going to try it and keep yourself fit and healthy. Thank you very much. I'm Dr. Tarandeep.
Alright then, so we talked about khana kya hai, exercise kya karna hai, but you all know that if your mind is not in the right place, And if you're not sleeping well, if you're stressed, then all of these efforts that you make in eating the right food and getting the right exercise is going to fall flat. So taking care of the most powerful organ in your mind, in your body, this one, is absolutely imperative. So let's bring in someone who's dedicated his life to this. Dr. Mickey Mehta, global leading holistic health guru and corporate spiritual coach, is with us here in the studio. Good morning, Mickey.
Good morning, Sonal.
I love that Mickey comes in with this aura that, you know, everything is going to be right, and I'm certainly feeling it on the set here as well.
Everything is right.
Everything is right. So that's the first tip he's already given you.
Yeah.
But Mickey, tell us what are the ways, or how do we keep our mind sharp, active and happy?
First of all, let's clear this misconception that your mind is in your brain. Mind is non-local. So mind is a causal, non-local electromagnetic field of energy and information with self-referral cybernating feedback loops. Now,
Translation. Translation.
in Marathi?
No. What are we?
Okay, so mind is invisible. Mind is a unity consciousness of everything that is, was and will be. Mind is that akasha, that emptiness, that empty space. So when your mind is, you are not. And when you are, the mind is not. Which means mind can only exist in the past or in the future. But in the current moment awareness, there is only consciousness and intelligence and spontaneity.
So how does one keep it activated?
Certainly not with mindfulness. Because that's the biggest sham of meditation. Because when your mind is full and filled with clutter, then it is going in different directions of your five senses. But empty the mind and mind the emptiness. Watch the empty space. Because when your mind is empty of the clutter, it can be filled with the light of awareness. So for your mind to be sharp, you should be in the absolute now. Kevalya ki avastha kendrit, not on the paridhi,
Yeah, but
not on the circumference.
Yeah, but Mickey, all this is great. I totally relate to it. But the question is, करें कैसे? क्या आप कुछ tips देंगे? Tips देंगे हमारे viewers को? Are there any breathing exercises that one can do? And easy to follow, because people don't have the time, you see.
So सबसे पहले, mind is all about emptying. So what do? Breathe out everything. So when you breathe out everything, the least you breathe out is your biological and physiological toxins. But the best what you breathe out, the toxins of your emotions and psychology.
Just breathe out.
So Anuloma Viloma is a perfect science for mental equilibrium. But when you focus more on Viloma, emptying, the filling in happens very naturally. Because emptying is the art of consciousness, not filling in. The gap is where life comes alive. It is in the gap that when you introduce an intention, miracles and manifestation happen. It is in the gap when you know that you are breathing in the perfect rhythm. The rhythm of life gets synchronized. So SYNC, for which you need to sink into SINK deep within yourself and bring your breath from 22 times a minute to almost 6-7 times a minute. When you get there, you become sharp. When you're calm, slow, collected, relaxed, integrated, whole, pure, holy, holistic, then of course you ought to be uninhibited and at the same time sharp. Alert, at the same time tranquil. See, there's a paradox here. So, watch your breath, you will be watching the passing moment. And observe. Once you become a drashta, you become a drishti. You have vision, not a sight. And once you have a drishti, you are the master of the shrishti, which means everything that is happening, you become the collaborator of manifestation.
Oh man, Mickey is giving us one tagline after the other on what exactly is to be followed. But what I like about this is just this approach, and I think what he's also trying to say is that it's not about those 2 hours where you sit down in dhyan. It's about a way of life. It's about reminding yourself
Bilkul.
several times in a day that this is how you need to breathe and this is how you need to center yourself.
Seamlessness, attention on everything that is happening, but not moving your attention behind and forward. No fast forwarding and no rewinding. Because rewinding and fast forwarding is stress. And I had written some lines the other day that stress is nothing but absence of creative imagination.
Oh man.
Okay?
Let that sink in for a moment. Thank you so much
बस.
Vicky, for joining us. पूरे दिन सुन सकते हैं आपको तो, लेकिन अभी थोड़ा आगे की खबर भी बता देते
finishing
हैं.
line दे देता हूँ.
जी बताएं.
So my 10 commandments for your perfect mind and spirit is.
जी.
Commandment number 1. Let wellness be the religion number 1 because religions divide and wellness unites. Commandment number 2. Start a wellness revolution for human evolution by meditating. Commandment number 3. Strong hands for bicep is uplifting of the poor. Commandment number 4. Strong exercise for strong shoulders is take the responsibility of the underprivileged. Commandment number 5. If you want strong legs, be rooted in humility to be better fruited in humanity. Sleep every night with a wish to heal yourself. Wake up every morning with a promise to heal the world.
Wow.
And then you can get energized, naturalized, optimized, maximized, internalize, eternalize, revolutionize, evolutionize, revitalize, regularize, humanize, immunize. With Sonal and Mickey get mesmerized. With the Breakfast Club get hypnotized. And everyone gets Mickey-mized.
I love it. That's your morning rap and that's your morning health rap really. And this people must please save it and keep it on your phone and watch it every morning as well. Thanks so much, Vicky.
Thank you so much,
That
Sonal.
was wonderful.
Thank you so much, Sonal.
All right. After having spoken about all those healthy things and healthy habits, we have a very healthy habit here on the Breakfast Club as well, which is to bring you good things first. Now, just last month, we brought you the incredible and path-breaking CAR therapy of treating cancer. Now, we all know by now that it's a unique therapy that uses your own body cells and empowers them to detect and fight cancer a little better. Plus, it's proudly done by an incredible team of doctors here in India at Tata Memorial and at IIT Bombay as well. Now, let's bring you those visuals first and remind you of this 9-year-old patient, the daughter of a self-employed driver who after return of her cancer several times was put on this CAR trial. Now what's happened? In the latest, the President of India, Draupadi Murmu, on Thursday has officially launched the CAR T therapy for public at large, hailing it as a major breakthrough. Take a look. Let's start with the story of hope. A story of medical marvel that has saved the life of a 6-year-old from a deadly cancer. So CAR therapy is a type of a immunotherapy that uses the power of your body's immune system to fight cancer. It has given weapon to the existing T cell in your own blood. It is your own blood that is being empowered to fight cancer.
The only way that we could keep the cost down is if we did it ourselves in India. So every patient all across the country can now get it, and we are happy to see our baby now. We are happy to see our baby now out into the world.
तो कैंसर का बताए तो हम पूरे जगह पे हिल गए. मम्मी पापा हमारे को कुछ भी, हम तो खाली डॉक्टर के पास रोते ही रहे, क्योंकि उसकी कंडीशन देख के ना हमारे को भी थोड़ा ऐसा ही लग रहा था कि हमारी बच्ची अभी क्या बचने वाली नहीं है. थैंक्स तो हम डॉक्टर गौरव सर को ही बोलेंगे. उनका बहुत योगदान है इस थेरेपी में. टाटा के हर डॉक्टर से हमारे को यही थी ख्वाहिश थी कि बच्चे के लिए अच्छा करे, लेकिन सब डॉक्टर अच्छे.
मुझे बताइए, इतना दिनों तक ट्रीटमेंट चला हॉस्पिटल में, आप घबराए नहीं, डरे नहीं?
नहीं.
So that was the incredible story of that young girl who was the first patient to be treated from CAR therapy, and now it is available for the country at large on your screens over there. That was the president yesterday launching it for people and calling it a major breakthrough that provides new hope for mankind in the battle against cancer. All right, like always, we brought you the story first here on the Breakfast Club. Very happy to be doing so many of these stories right here for you. On that note, we're going to slip into a break. Coming up on the other side, meet another story of hope coming in from weightlifting and a very first of an Indian getting a medal at the IWF. Details of Bindyarani Devi coming up in a moment from now. Hello and welcome to Know Your Neta, and I am today coming to you from the tea plantation in Wayanad, and I'm going to make you meet an interesting Neta. This is her electoral debut. This is the first time that she is going to contest the elections. She has been an activist for over decades altogether, for over 3 decades altogether, and she is also the wife of a prominent veteran politician. I am talking about none other than Annie Raja over here. Ma'am, thank you for speaking with us. Beautiful, beautiful scenery that you are in here. I want to ask starting by asking that why Wayanad? Why did you choose Wayanad to be your first electoral place to contest election?
You see, for all these years, my party, the Communist Party of India, CPI, has given me other organizational work. And now the party and the left front asked me to contest election, and they have decided it is not my selection, but by the party's decision and the LDF's decision to contest from here. So that's why I am here.
So you have always been an activist all through your life. How did you think that I should now enter into the electoral fray? I should be a politician now, because you have been a voice of marginalized. Why the shift suddenly?
No, it's not a shift actually. You see, when I raise voice or I stand with the people, whether it is in Manipur, whether it is in Jammu Kashmir, whether it is in Jabua, whether it is in Orissa, whether it is in Gujarat, it's a political work actually. Yes. So it is to ensure their rights as citizens of this country. That is the politic. That is a political work. So the contesting election, and this is a different form of political activity. So I now. So far, my political activity was something different, and now party and left front asked me to do this political work. So I am here.
All right. When we talk about Wayanad, what is something that you are willing to give to the people of Wayanad? What is the developmental work that you are planning to do if you get elected as the MP?
You see, since this constituency was established, it was always it was UDF all the last three times, and unfortunately for the people of this constituency, the representatives never bothered about the development of this constituency, and the issues. When I am here for more than a month now, interacting with people, you can see this even plantation workers and all. So I interact with them and I ask them, what do you expect from me as a candidate? So I get I take feedbacks from these.
Welcome back. Let's bring you a quick update on a story we brought to you last week as well. We showed you the first of its kind organ transplant, where a man in Massachusetts successfully received a pig's kidney. The 62-year-old who received the genetically edited kidney from a pig has now been discharged from hospital. Pictures will pop up on your screen of Richard Slayman, who was discharged 2 weeks after the groundbreaking surgery at the Massachusetts General Hospital there. The organ transplant from pigs has failed in the past, remember, but the success of this procedure so far has been hailed as a historic milestone in the field of transplantation as well, and given major hope to people all over the world. All right, moving on then to the other big story that we are tracking here. If you've been busy with IPL, let's give you a bit of a knock to tell you that a 25-year-old weightlifter from Manipur has now brought glory to India. On TBC, let's meet Bindyarani Devi. Now, Bindyarani has become the first Indian to win the bronze medal in the weightlifting World Cup, the IWF, in the 55 kg category at Phuket, and she's there live with us. Bindyarani also has joined the long list of some incredible weightlifting talent the country has been producing of late, and now the top 10 ranked eligible lifters qualifying for the Paris Games as well. So बिंद्या, हेलो, नमस्कार, हमसे बात करने के लिए बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया. पहले तो बताइए, इतना अच्छी पहली बार हुआ है ये इंडियन के साथ जो हम IWF में हमें एक मेडल मिला है, तो कंग्रेचुलेशंस उसके लिए. कैसे सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं विन?
मैं बहुत खुश हूँ. मतलब वर्ल्ड कप में मेडल आया और अच्छी है. मैं बहुत खुश हूँ.
बहुत खुश हैं, बहुत शाय भी लगती है मुझे, थोड़ा थोड़ा बोलती हैं बिंद्या जी. पर तो मुझे बिंद्या बताइए कि वेट लिफ्टिंग का चस्का कहाँ लगा आपको, कैसे शुरू करा आपने ये? क्या बचपन से ही इतनी स्ट्रॉन्ग थी आप?
हाँ, मतलब वेट लिफ्टिंग तो पता नहीं. मैं थोड़ा हेवी उठाने का थोड़ा पसंद है. फिर भी मैंने ताइक्वांडो में स्टार्ट किया स्पोर्ट्स में. बाद में 2008 टू 12 तक मैं वेट लिफ्ट ताइक्वांडो में थी. उसके बाद मैंने 12 लास्ट मंथ से मैंने वेट लिफ्टिंग सिखा दिया.
क्या बात करिए, सिर्फ एक महीने में वेट लिफ्टिंग करा और मेडल मिल गया ऑलरेडी. तो ये ताइक्वांडो की जर्नी कहाँ से शुरू हुई?
मैं बचपन से मैंने स्पोर्ट्स में आया. फिर मेरा मामा हमारा गांव में एक सेंटर था ताइक्वांडो का. तो उसकी टाइम में मुझे भी बहुत छोटी थी. मैंने बोला, मेरा मम्मी को बोला मैंने, मम्मी मेरे को भी ये ताइक्वांडो खेलना है, ट्रेनिंग जाना है. तो मेरा मामा ने हाँ कोई बात नहीं चलो ऐसे बोल के. मैं स्कूल से वापस आया, तुरंत थोड़ा कुछ खाने वाला फूड खा के ऐसे कपड़ा पहन के ट्रेनिंग हॉल में जाना है. फिर ऐसे करके मैं अच्छी है ताइक्वांडो भी. इसके वजह से मुझे ज्यादा ताकत दिया. मतलब ताइक्वांडो खेलने के टाइम भी बहुत ज्यादा रनिंग ऐसे वगैरह बहुत ज्यादा किया, स्ट्रेंथ ट्रेनिंग. उसमें वो लिफ्टिंग में आया, थोड़ा अच्छा लगा.
या तो कपड़ा ताइक्वांडो का पहनने के लिए और खाना खाने के लिए आपने शुरू करा. दैट्स अ वेरी नाइस स्टोरी. पर ये जो स्ट्रेंथ है, आप बहुत आसानी से बता रही हैं, पर इतनी स्ट्रेंथ और टफनेस चाहिए होती है वेट लिफ्टिंग करने के लिए, ताइक्वांडो करने के लिए. तो ये क्या जीन्स में है, मम्मी से आया कि पापा से आया, कहाँ से मिला इतना स्ट्रेंथ आपको?
हाँ, मतलब मेरा मम्मा पापा भी दोनों स्ट्रॉन्ग हैं. मतलब वो लोग दूसरा के घर पे और ऐसे खेती में और ऐसे काम किया. मतलब वो लोग को अंदर से ताकत है वो लोग का.
अंदर से ताकत है. आई लाइक दैट आंसर इज वेल. तो हम ब्रेकफास्ट क्लब पे कई बार बात करते हैं कि क्या सही तरीका है खाना खाने का और डाइट रखने का. तो एक जो चैंपियन का डाइट होता है उसमें क्या होता है, इतना स्ट्रेंथ बनाने के लिए जो लोग आपको इस समय देख रहे हैं और एस्पायर करना चाहते हैं, तो एक चैंपियन डाइट कैसी होती है?
ऐसे हमारा डाइट मतलब मीट में तो अलग खाया, ऐसे सैल्मन प्रॉन हमारा अलग से मंगवाया बाहर से, वो खाता है हमारा. और ऐसे फ्रूट में ड्रैगन फ्रूट, एवोकाडो और पीस ऐसे अलग अलग खाता है बाहर से. मतलब हम इधर NIS में दिया ना, वो लोग हम इतना नहीं खाया. हमारा सालों ने, हमारा OGQ टॉप्स ने हमको स्पॉन्सर दिया. वो लोग की वजह से हमने अच्छा चीज बाहर से मंगा के खाया.
So lean meat and protein and fat, that is the diet. That is quite interesting. So बहुत सारा भी बिंदिया, देश में वेट लिफ्टिंग का टैलेंट निकल कर आ रहा है, बहुत सारी महिलाएं निकल के आ रही हैं वेट लिफ्टिंग के टैलेंट में. हमने बहुत सारी मूवीज बनी हैं अब इसके ऊपर, दंगल जैसी, और काफ़ी, और इस कैटेगरी में बेसिकली. तो ऐसे यंगस्टर जो इस समय आपको देख रहे हैं, जो इंस्पायर होना चाहते हैं, उनको आप क्या टिप देंगी?
मतलब ऐसे पहले जरूरी ट्रेनिंग वेट अच्छा लिफ्टिंग करने के लिए पहले सब स्पोर्ट्समैन को पहले बहुत ट्रेनिंग अच्छा करना चाहिए. मतलब एक हफ्ता में 2 बार 3 बार ट्रेनिंग, ऐसे तो नहीं, ऐसे रोज. मतलब पेन आए तो ठीक है, इंजरी नहीं आए तो ऐसे ट्रेनिंग में फोकस करना चाहिए. फिर सोना पीना, रेस्ट भी बहुत जरूरी है. और खाना में भी ऐसे नॉर्मल चीज भी खा सकता है, फिर भी थोड़ा मतलब फास्ट रिकवरी. हम तो वेट उठाना है, फिर ऐसे दूसरा खा के थोड़ा फास्ट रिकवरी वाला. एवोकाडो भी बहुत अच्छा है, और अच्छा है, सब फ्रूट सब कुछ खा सकता है.
आप बहुत आसानी से बता रही है बिंदिया, बट आई एम श्योर बहुत ही स्ट्रिक्ट डाइट रहता होगा, स्पेशली वेट लिफ्टिंग में, क्योंकि आपको अपना वेट कॉन्स्टेंटली मेंटेन करना होता है, और कैटेगरीज में भी काफ़ी डिफरेंस होता है. आप 1 किलो ऊपर नीचे और कुछ ग्राम ऊपर नीचे में काफ़ी फ़र्क पड़ सकता है. सो आई एम श्योर आप अपनी डाइट बहुत कंट्रोल करती होंगी, पर हमें बता सकती हैं कि कौन सा खाना मिस करती हैं? ट्रेनिंग की वजह से स्ट्रिक्ट डाइट तो होता होगा, लेकिन कौन सा खाना मिस करती हैं आप?
मैं तो मणिपुर का डिश बहुत पसंद है. मतलब ऐसे थोड़ा स्पाइसी वाला. अभी तो थोड़ा कम खाया स्पाइसी. मतलब हमारा मणिपुर का सब्जी.
नाइस नाइस, घर की सब्जी सब मिस करते हैं. सो बट बिंदिया, मुझे मैं ये भी जानना चाहती हूँ कि वेट लिफ्टिंग के अलावा आप सिर्फ 25 साल की हैं, काफ़ी यंग हैं, और अभी अभी आपने शुरू भी करा, इतनी जल्दी आपको एक मेडल भी मिल गया इसमें. तो वेट लिफ्टिंग के अलावा क्या शौक है आपके? हॉबीज क्या क्या पसंद करती हैं?
हाँ, गाना. ऐसे हमारा मणिपुर का स्टोरी है, ऐसे मणिपुरी स्टोरी कलेक्शन में वो मैं बहुत सुनता है, स्टोरी और सॉन्ग भी सुनता है.
तो फिर हमें कुछ सुना भी दीजिए गाना, अगर आपको इतना पसंद है तो हमें भी थोड़ा फ्लेवर ऑफ मणिपुर दीजिए.
नहीं, मैं मेरा आवाज तो थोड़ा अच्छा नहीं है. नेक्स्ट टाइम पक्का कर
अरे
लूंगी.
ट्राई करिए, सुबह सुबह आएगा.
आज ट्रेवल करके आए ना, थोड़ा एनर्जी भी नहीं है.
All right, the very shy Bindya over there. But let me see if all right, Bindya, thank you so much for joining us with the very latest on that, and good luck for Paris as well, and good luck for and congratulations on making India proud all over again. All right, talking about sports, let's look at what's happening in IPL. It's a new day and a new star has come up the ranks in IPL. Shashank Singh, who nearly missed out on Punjab Kings squad in the auction, where the team had tried to withdraw their bid actually for him, has now become the match winner for the side. Take a look.
IPL 2024 is all about surprise packages. In the match between Punjab Kings and Gujarat Titans last night, Shashank Singh shocked Gujarat, who had earlier surprised Punjab in the auction. It'll be fair enough to say now, Shashank Singh remembered the name. Well, there was this whole controversy around the right and the wrong Shashank, but he has definitely proven to be the right one for Punjab, as his 61-run knock led Punjab to 3-wicket win against Gujarat Titans. While talking about Punjab, they won the toss, they opted to bowl first, and Gujarat Titans had their plans right, especially skipper Shubman Gill. He played an unbeaten 89-run knock, and along with breezy cameos from Sai Sudarshan and Rahul Tewatia, they posted 199 runs on the board. With that target on the board, it felt that Punjab Kings might fumble, because throughout this tournament, Punjab Kings batters haven't performed really well, and it did happen. Shikhar Dhawan, the skipper of the Punjab side, went back cheaply, and there were some great performances expected from Prabh Simran and Bairstow. They did keep the run rate in check, but at the end of the 9th over, Punjab Kings was 73 for 4. At that point of time, fans were expecting some great performances from Sikandar Raza and Sam Curran, but nothing happened, because what happened was Shashank Singh. Shashank kept his nerves tight, and he played some brilliant shots and also kept Punjab right in the chase. Along with him was also Ashutosh Sharma, who came in as an impact player, and he created the real impact for Punjab. His 17-ball 31 proved to be really crucial for Punjab Kings in this win. Talking about Ashutosh Sharma, he went back on the very first ball of the final over, but he did his work by then. Talking about the final over, what was also surprising was Shubman Gill's move of giving ball to Darshan Nalkande ahead of Umesh Yadav. Darshan didn't have enough work to do in the final over, as there were just 7 runs to defend, and obviously it's too little in a 20-over game, especially in IPL. But Darshan did his job well, and so did Shashank Singh. Shashank led Punjab Kings to that victory line and also bagged that Player of the Match award. Obviously, it was a great win for Punjab Kings, who had lost the last 2 matches. Shikhar Dhawan praised both Shashank Singh and Ashutosh Sharma, and it's so good to see unheard names coming out in this tournament and creating their mark. Well, that was all that happened in Ahmedabad. Now, what's one thing that GT can be really happy about is Mohit Sharma getting the purple cap. But from Ahmedabad, we will today move to Hyderabad, where Sunrisers Hyderabad and Chennai Super Kings are waiting for all of us to witness some run fire. If you are a CSK fan, then you might miss some fizz in the match, because Mustafizur Rahman won't be playing, who also has most number of wickets along with Mohit Sharma. But CSK and SRH are those 2 teams who always come out and entertain the fans. So we're just waiting for that great match. I'm very excited. Are you?
Alright, moving on, let's talk about something that is reaching new heights almost every day. It's gold. It's hit another all-time high. Now, gold prices consolidated on Thursday, April 4th at above $2,300 per ounce. That roughly translates into about 70,000 rupees. In fact, more than 70,000 rupees for just 10 grams of gold. Now, the story of gold has been incredible, and we did some maths to figure out an interesting statistic. Did you know that back in 1990, if you had 1 kg of gold, you could actually buy a Maruti 800. In 2000, if 1 kg of gold, you could buy an Esteem. In 2005, it would have translated into an Innova. Maybe in 2010, it could have been a Fortuner. 2016, 1 kg gold is BMW. 2019, 1 kg gold, the same 1 kg. Now you can buy a Volvo S60. 2023, 1 kg of gold means you can now have an Audi Q5. It's as expensive as these cars. That's the story of gold. So what should you do? Should you buy? Should you sell? Should you wait? Manisha tells you more.
Gold prices have scaled record highs to above $2,300 an ounce. Well, gold is up $500 an ounce in past 6 months since hitting a low of $1,810 in September 23 and hitting an even lower low at $1,643 in 2022. Well, this year started with almost 2,050. We did see a low of around 1,992 And since then, here we are, above $2,300 an ounce of an all-time high is where gold prices hit it. In the Indian markets, the gold prices hit an all-time high above 70,000 rupees. If you bought gold last year at around 56 or 57,000, you would have been sitting on a neat profit of 15,000 rupees per 10 grams. Well, gold has seen support from geopolitical tensions from Russia, Ukraine to Iran, Syria, Israel, Hamas, and even China-Taiwan tensions. The global central bank buying has been a very supportive factor. We saw global central banks buy record 1136 tons in 2022, only to see further 1,037 tons in 2023. The first quarter of this year also has seen central bank buying on the stronger side. Even the RBI gold buying is at 817 tons as of now. And then there is short covering from funds, family houses, net inflows in ETF, and of course, expectations of rate cuts by US and Europe in June have been supportive. The physical investment buying from China and Asia has been on the stronger side as well. But who's buying so much gold that the gold prices can't stop? That is a bit of a conspiracy theory, really, because when you look at the gold market capitalization globally, it's at $15.6 trillion. It's not an easy market to manipulate. But this time, the experts tell us that they are at a loss of analyzing the one way that the gold prices are moving. So the expectation is that there's a lot of paper gold being bought as well. Remember, in India, when you buy gold ETF, it is backed by physical gold, but most other countries do not have this as mandatory. So that is still a developing story. But where is gold headed? Well, the gold targets set for the year end have been achieved already. But there are even higher targets being put out for the rest of this year and even in 2025. Citi says that they're expecting 2,300 to stay. ANZ says the same. Saxo Bank also has a target of 2,300. Exim Australia talks about 2,400. JP Morgan 2,500. And Bank of America is telling us that 2,500 to 2,600 is where the gold prices could go. In the Indian markets, Nirmal Bang talks about 2,400. IBJA 2,350. And HDFC Securities says that 2,400 is definitely coming. So, should you buy or sell at these levels? Well, India usually buys major chunk of its gold in physical form and they have made good profits on that. Not many consumers are encashing gold at these levels as they expect higher highs. Jewelry buyers are exchanging old for new or buying as per their budget. Indian investors buy gold for longer period of time, and that while doesn't give them dividends or bonus, but it definitely is a good portfolio diversifier. So if you are looking at buying physical gold for longer term, well, just go ahead and buy it on dips. Sell your gold only if you need money. And if you are in trading gold, then shorts is still not a recommendation because the prices are moving and staying there. There is a bit of a correction and a caution that the street perhaps should be working at this point in time after this very, very strong run-up.
All right, you can watch out for more details on what's happening with the gold there on moneycontrol.com as well. But for now, let's move on to something sporty now. Has the middleweight super sport motorcycle segment improved in India over the past 10 years? Now, the answer to that is a loaded one. So our friends at Overdrive put a decade-old Triumph Daytona against the 2024 Kawasaki ZX6R. And this is how it went.
If you are shopping in the middleweight super sport category, often characterized as the 600s, your search will inevitably lead you to a Kawasaki dealership in India because the ZX6R is your only option. Of course, the tide may change in the future. You might have one more option should Honda introduce the tempting new CBR 600RR to our shores. If you want something mellower, something that's easier, more comfortable, then you could look at something like the Ninja 650 from the same stable or something like the Honda CBR 650R if you want twice the cylinders. And looking over the horizon, there are vehicles like the Yamaha R7 and the ridiculous Triumph Daytona 660, which are going to sort of give you some bit of a promise. Now this scenario reminds me of exactly 10 years back when the Daytona 675R was the only middleweight super sport option that you had in the country. A decade since, have things really evolved? Has the super sport genre in the middleweight segment really gone ahead by leaps and bounds? With changing market demands, technological advancements and regulatory pressures, manufacturers have often been forced to adapt and evolve their offerings. Apart from being middleweight super sport machines, there's another common thread for these two motorcycles. Both of them go against the convention and employ unconventional engine configurations when you compare it to the typical 599cc inline 4 configuration that we see in the super sport segment. The Triumph Daytona 675 boasts of a potent 675cc three-cylinder engine, delivering around 126 horsepower. This power plant, while not as outright powerful as some of its competitors, offers a unique blend of torque-rich performance and a linear power delivery. Triumph's engineering prowess is evident in the Daytona 675's short-stroke design, top-notch components, and a refined tuning, resulting in exhilarating performance on both the street as well as the track. The engine's ability to rev freely and eagerly rewards riders with a thrilling riding experience, making it a favorite among enthusiasts seeking a dynamic edge. In fact, this engine is so good that it has laid the foundation for all the 660cc entry-level Triumphs all the way up to the 765, the Street Triple RS, and even the Moto 3 machines. In fact, that Street Triple RS, as we found out last year in our ride at Jerez, it's such a good track machine, such a potent track machine and a potent all-rounder that I'm not surprised it has led to the death of this track-bred Daytona. I know the Daytona 660 is not the successor to this motorcycle. That's... In contrast to Triumph's Triple, the 2024 Kawasaki ZX-XR inherits the legacy of its predecessors, featuring a 636cc inline 4 power plant. While the engine configuration has been the staple of the ZX-XR lineup for years now, the 2024 iteration, however, fails to deliver significant advancements in power output or technological innovation, boasting of a mere 129 PS, which is humble for a gap of 10 years. For 2024, in fact, the ZX-XR loses a horsepower or two because it uses different camshafts with a lower lift profile, shorter duration, etc. compared to its predecessor. The gains are, of course, in the emissions department because this is now compliant with the stricter emission standards. With no option for a larger engine displacement, the ZX-XR relies on innovative solutions like these to meet emission requirements. This also includes a revised exhaust layout featuring a larger exhaust pre-chamber and a revised positioning for the O2 sensor closer to the exhaust ports, facilitating more efficient readings and cleaner combustion. It isn't a very fuel-efficient motor though, and we struggle to go beyond 13 km to a litre on our spirited rides, while the Daytona still managed about 17 km to a litre consistently. The ZX-XR offers a really respectable performance, no complaints against that. But it lacks the grunt, the peppiness, that aggression that you get with the Daytona. The low-end performance is much better on the ZX-XR, but when it comes to the mid-range or the top end, it doesn't feel as sharp as the Daytona. Both of these engines have a 15,000 RPM red line. The Daytona's engine will scream all its way to the red line, and even in the top gear, it managed to reach in that similar zone. However, for top gear on this motorcycle, after about 13,000 RPM, the performance just seems to taper down. Those final 2,000 RPM or so, it just feels a bit hollow.
All right, with that, we've come to the end of the program, but not before getting you our Thank God It's Friday segment, where we tell you everything to do if you want to be a couch potato or if you want to step out. Here's the list.
Camera, action. Buckle up folks, it's that time of the week again where I've got your dose of entertainment extravaganza served with a side of sass here on TGIF. First up, the big OTT releases of the week. Number 1 is Loot Season 2. It's releasing on April 3rd. It's about the billionaire roller coaster that continues with Molly Wells navigating philanthropy and personal growth on Apple TV+. Number 2 is Wish. It's coming up on Disney Plus Hotstar on April 3rd, something that you can watch with your kids definitely. Enter the magical kingdom of Rosas as Asha challenges the deceptive rule of King Magnifico. Number 3rd is Crooks, coming on April 4th. It's about Berlin getting a dose of crime drama as Charlie's past comes back to haunt him there on Netflix. Number 4th is Ripley, coming up on April 4th as well. Andrew Scott dives into a web of deceit, fraud and murder in 1960s New York on Netflix. Number 5th, The Tearsmiths, releasing on April 4th. Two troubled orphans find a connection in a family saga based on Erin Doom's bestseller there on Netflix as well. Number 6 is Furray, releasing on April 5th. It's about Niyati's scholarship dream turning into a nightmare of scandal and darkness on Z5. Number 7, How to Date Billy Walsh, releasing on April 5th. It's about best friends, secret crushes, and a new student stirring up the British rom-com charm on Prime Video. Something classic for you. Number 8 is Parasite the Grey, releasing on April 5th there on the Netflix. It's a South Korean original series that explores parasitic life forms and human hosts forming some sort of a coalition. Do watch it. Number 9 is Scoop, releasing on April 5th. It's about the behind-the-scenes negotiations for the infamous BBC interview with Prince Andrew that unfolds on Netflix as well. Number 10th is Sugar, coming up on April 5th. It's Colin Farrell leading the hunt for a vanished heiress in the glitzy world of Hollywood, coming up on Apple TV Plus for you. Now let's take you through the big silver screen releases. Number 1 is Dukaan. Monica Panwar stars in a touching tale of surrogacy, hitting theatres near you. Number 2 is The First Omen. Dive into a prequel of The Omen from 1976, uncovering a devilish conspiracy in Rome. Number 3, Love Lies Bleeding. It's about romance meeting crime in the gritty underworld of 1989. Muscle and heart, in fact, collide in this particular gripping drama.
All right then, so there's so much to do this weekend. We wish you a very, very happy weekend. Get some rest and stay healthy. Remember, the World Health Day is coming up. We'll see you again Monday morning, 8 o'clock. Bye-bye.
Hello and welcome to Know Your Neta, and I am today coming to you from the tea plantation in Wayanad, and I'm going to make you meet an interesting Neta. This is her electoral debut. This is the first time that she is going to contest the elections. She has been an activist for over decades altogether, for over 3 decades altogether, and she is also the wife of a prominent veteran politician. I am talking about none other than Annie Raja over here. Ma'am, thank you for speaking with us. Beautiful, beautiful scenery that you are in here. I want to ask starting by asking that why Wayanad? Why did you choose Wayanad to be your first electoral place to contest election?
You see, for all these years, my party, the Communist Party of India, CPI, has given me other organizational work. And now the party and the left front asked me to contest the election, and they have decided it is not my selection but by the party's decision and the LDF's decision to contest from here. So that's why I am here.
So you have always been an activist all through your life. How did you think that I should now enter into the electoral fray? I should be a politician now, because you have been a voice of marginalized. Why the shift suddenly?
No, it's not a shift actually. You see, when I raise voice or I stand with the people, whether it is in Manipur, whether it is in Jammu Kashmir, whether it is in Jabua, whether it is in Orissa, whether it is in Gujarat,